Hello, and welcome to Chapter 13 of Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. 35 days until Christmas, since Halloween got X'd out. I do hope you're enjoying the series so far. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, as it does help my channel grow. Without further ado, let's get into this. A clock in Town Hall Tower counted off the 12 months of the year instead of 12 hours in a day. For a year now, the residents of Halloween Town had watched the clock's bat wing hands sweep in a steady circle as days came and went in a flurry of garland stringing and presents wrapping. The clock's hands pressed past October 31st with no scares, no dancing scarecrows, no nightmares. For the first time in Halloween Town, had no Halloween. The town barely noticed Jack's Yuletime excitement was as infectious as smallpox, spreading through the ghoulish population until each undead soul rose early to toll on their Christmas tasks and went to bed grinning because December 25th was one day closer. When only a week remained before the holiday, the vampires pointed out that the days to Halloween countdown sign which had hung above the clock for as long as anyone could remember was no longer applicable. So the undersea gal and behemoth drug up a ladder and rigged up a new sign to cover the old one. Days to Xmas. The new sign read in Behemoth's childlike handwriting. Everyone agreed this was a vast improvement. The monsters excitedly chattered, filled the air as the devil untangled strings of sinister red lights that looked like glowing eyes, while the vampires braved the sunlight beneath umbrellas to deliver cans of paint to the toy makers who were busy constructing roadkill teddy bears and possessed dolls with midnight black hair. The clown with the tearaway face packed Pandora's boxes with cute little curses that would haunt the children on Christmas morning. Making Christmas, they exclaimed, as they watched the clock's arms move closer to the big day each day. Sally listened to the sounds of the monsters' hard, hard work behind the very heavy drape of her makeshift sewing workshop. Yeah, heavy drapes. Okay, that's it, right. Once Dr. Finkelstein had sworn that he was well and truly done with her and that she was on her own, she sat to work on Jack's new costume. As the merriment grew more ridiculous outside, Sally leaned over her sewing machine, her brow wrinkled in concentration as she ran thread through the red velvet fabric Jack had asked her to use. The drawing of Jack in the Santa Claus suit hung on the wall behind her sewing machine. She told herself it was for reference as she made the suit, but she caught herself staring at it several times a day with a furrowed brow, remembering her vision. "Oh, Jack, I wish you'd listen to me." But months had passed, and her vision hadn't come true, and she'd found herself swept up in the same infectious excitement as the rest of the town. It was only whenever she caught sight of the drawing of Jack that she remembered her terrible premonition. He was the Pumpkin King, not Sandy Claus. Why was he trying to become something he wasn't? Was this in entitled Christmas holiday a terrible mistake? Worried, stitching a line through and thought as she cut the next segment from her pattern. The chattering grew louder outside her workshop, and she peered out curious. Jack had arrived in town square to inspect everyone's work. The corpse kid and mummy boy proudly pounded toy cars into smithereens, beaming at him. The children will be so surprised when they open those presents. The corpse kid giggled. Jack patted the corpse kid on the back. "Indeed they will. This year's Christmas is ours." Everyone cheered. They were determined to do Christmas right. Who wasn't? Who wouldn't want a delightful vampire teddy bear or a game of checkers with scorpions and beetles? Okay, I'd actually like a vampire teddy bear now. I'm thinking about buying one. Their unique toys and gifts would bring such delight to boys and girls everywhere. Ghosts carried poison-laced paint, floated up. Oh, carrying poison-laced paint. For they, from the wishing well, they passed by the undead ensemble accordion player who pushed a wheelbarrow filled with jack-o'-lanterns that would soon be turned into orange-faced baby dolls. Rats scurried over the ground with ribbons between their teeth. High up in the castle overlooking the town square, Dr. Finkelstein and Igor flipped the electric switch to bring the reindeer corpses to life. As electricity snapped in the air, the doctor raised his small hands in triumph. His excitement got the best of him, and he toppled over onto his desk, knocking into an extra skull Igor had found in the cemetery. He picked it up, marveling at the elegant curvature of the bones. He thought, a beautiful skull for a beautiful lady. Back in the center of town, the mayor drove Jack's snowmobile carrying their top secret Christmas plans in the attached wagon, while townspeople carried out long wooden tables when lined up just right. The tables was only served as extra workspace, but also made an elevated ramp. The corpse kid and mummy boy managed to hop into the snowmobile when the mayor's back was turned and test out the ramp, knocking the toddling mayor right off the platform onto the ground. He dusted off his hat and kept grinning. They'll talk about this for years, Jack, the mayor purred. A vampire showed off a present wrapped with a grinning snake. Do you know a snake makes an excellent bow? The other vampire, with deep in concentration, painting bullet holes onto a possessed, wind-up duck. They had spent days selecting the perfect shade of red. They were experts in blood, after all. Look what I've made from a dead rat. The Harlequin devil shoved a smashed rat carcass he found and fastened it into a cap. The head of the undead ensemble saxophone player, who had reluctantly agreed to be his model. The demon stuck a feather in the hat and added a hat for an added flourish. The saxophone player shook his head, regretting his role. Jack tapped his bony finger against his chin as he inspected the Harlequin demon's handiwork. Excellent hat, but perhaps something less decent? Deceased? Desisted. How about a bat? The Harlequin devil sat to work while the saxophone player rolled his eyes. Jack rubbed his hands together as he moved to the next workstation where the melting man was about to wrap up a dead turtle he'd run over with the mayor's hearse. Jack took the turtle and gave it a shake. The head fell off. Try again. Jack patted the melting man's bald head, but his hand stuck and took several tugs to get free. Jack nodded to himself while he watched Dr. Hyde and his demonic miniatures, alter egos, each one half the size of the largest, stacked nesting dolls that echoed their diminishing sizes. My dream is coming true, Jack mused. It's really happening. Even if it's not exactly as I envisioned. The townspeople had come a long way towards embracing their magical Christmas spirit he'd felt when he'd visited Santa Claus's town, but they were still needing a little more guidance. Jack remembered himself to be patient. Jack reminded himself to be patient with them. They'd never seen a sleigh full of presents. They hadn't seen the elves' jolly toy factories. Besides, a snake tied up into a bow seems perfectly lovely to him. It was much more exciting than a lifeless bow, that was for sure. Yeah, I can say that again. The clock ticked down another day, and the monsters cheered. Just a few more days, the Wolfman howled. That is the end of Chapter 13. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see all of you in Chapter 14 in the next episode. Goodbye.